Everyone, it's Shar and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to play The Sims 4 today, but the EA app said I don't fucking think so and it won't let me launch the game. But since we are in January and I wanted to do this style of video anyway, I figured we can start here. I have some ideas and some predictions for what content we're going to see from The Sims 4 in 2024. A lot of these I have no grounds for believing. I just believe it. So this is the upcoming DLC predictions that I have for The Sims 4, but I'm a hating ass bitch. And maybe I'm a little bit bitter about certain things. These aren't necessarily the things that I want, although at the end of this little presentation, I am going to tell you the things that I want in The Sims 4. But let's start with the things that I think are coming. With full credit to other creators, I think it was Jessie Plambella who did this first, so full inspiration and credit to her. Let's go to it. The first thing that we're getting is dating apps, and I'm going to be a little bit of a clown here and say I think we're going to see this in February because I think they've been working on this for a long time. Let's do some speculation here. Dating apps are wildly popular. Most people that I know have met their partners or their spouses via dating apps. So it's a little bit absurd that they don't exist in The Sims 4. Like, I don't want to have to leave my house to go meet someone in The Sims. Sit through that loading screen? I don't think so. Why can't my Sim just scroll on their phone? Mods already do this, and we know they do it well. There are multiple mods that have a dating app functionality, including Little Miss Sam's SimVida app. So we know that the game has the functionality for it. And I can kind of see this pack, if they do release it, being kind of like a version of the late night pack. And here's theme number one for this video. EA wants to take your money. They want to give you packs, but make it as close to not a microtransaction, but split as many things as they can so they can have as many packs as possible. I can see it being a version of the Sims 3 late night pack. I see them including some buy stuff, maybe a couple of new clothes, maybe some things for like bars or lounges, throwing in a dating app as the main gameplay functionality, and they'll call it a stuff pack, or they're going to try to beef it up with some kind of nonsense, maybe increase the amounts of items that you get and call it a game pack. I would prefer that this is a stuff pack, but again, money. How I imagine it works is a lot like the mods, honestly. I think that you're going to see a lot of random townies pop up on the app. If the Sims team really wants to do something with this and EA allows them to do this, I think that it would be great to have this dating app interact with the likes and dislikes system. So kind of getting matches in the dating app instead of just having the option to scroll through a random townie profile. I would love to have matches. Again, I think there is a version of the mod where you can actually see someone's entire profile, and if the mod can do it, so can the actual Sims team. While the mods exist, I think it'd be great to have it in the game for those of you who don't play with mods, who can't play with mods. And quite honestly, I love playing with mods, but I have a supercomputer, so my game can handle that, and that's not a luxury a lot of people have, nor do a lot of people have the means to get a supercomputer just to play The Sims. The only reason I have it is because I have a gaming channel. So I think that before they release this stuff pack or game pack, they're going to do a free patch update and introduce an attractiveness system. Again, modders have already done this, so we know that it can be done in the game. The biggest example being Wicked Whims or Wonderful Whims if you're playing the safe for work version of this. Wonderful Whims works with the likes and dislikes systems already and introduces attractiveness that way. So again, we know that the game has the functionality for this, and I do think that they've been building up to this and working on this for a long time, especially with the introduction of likes and dislikes a few years ago, but also the continuous expansion of likes and dislikes. So I think they're going to add in attractiveness, kind of the way it works with Wonderful Whims, which modders truly carry the entire Sims 4 on their back. The next thing I think we're going to get is hotels. Number one, there is a lot of demand for hotels, but also we got the new expansion pack for Rent in December, and EA loves to recycle content and upsell it. So the For Rent pack introduced the ability to section off rooms and have that be separate quote unquote lots for Sims, but it also increased the capacity of number of Sims you can have on one lot, because by default you can have 6 apartments on one lot, and Each apartment can house an entire family of 8 Sims. So without any cheats and by default, you can have up to 48 Sims on one lot. I don't know why this is related, but I feel like it is. They also released a poolside splash kit at a very bizarre time in the year. I believe it was pretty close to winter. There's no reason why I think this is relevant, except when I think of hotels, I think of pools, and I think that it may have been a hint to the upcoming hotels pack. This is all speculation. I have no reason to know any of this. I literally am just guessing based on my own gut feelings and things that I play and hear and see when I'm playing the game. For rent, introduce the ability to section off lots. So I think they're going to use that ability and just kind of fine tune it and tweak it so that you're also able to have a functional hotel. You can kind of do it with for rent now. And because you can kind of do it with for rent now, I think they're just going to add a few more details, flush it out a little bit, add a new world, and boom, we have a pack. Again, there's so much demand for this. Lots of people want this pack, so we know it would sell well and it would make money. I'm going to call this section LOL, I just want this, because I just want this. So Rags to Riches is a really popular challenge. In fact, I'm doing one on my channel right now, and I think it would be a lot of fun to have a Rags to Riches style challenge, but hotel edition. And if we got hotels, I also want them to put in curved pools. It can't be that hard. We got curved walls, although they're very glitchy and don't work well. Why can't I have a curved pool if I'm going to build a hotel? Look at the pool at this hotel. I want that. And this is also a pack that demands its own world. And because it demands its own world, it means they're probably going to upsell it as an expansion pack. I'd be surprised if it was a game pack, although in my mind, this is game pack worth content because it's going to reuse lots of elements from other parts of the game, like pools are base game, bars are base game. For rent, just introduce the ability to section off those lots. So there's very little work in terms of the creation of new elements that needs to be done. It's more of the creation of how to have a functional hotel that needs to be done. And if we are going to get this pack, I do see it coming in June or July as like a summer release. Something that I feel like should come with hotels is amusement parks, but LOL, it's not going to. Again, EA wants your money. So they already introduced rides like a Ferris wheel, haunted house, a little like love cart ride with high school years. And as we establish, EA likes to repackage content they already have and sell it for more money in a different pack. So I imagine they're going to give us some of those quote unquote rides and just kind of reskin them and give them different text pop-up. So instead of a haunted house, maybe it's like an indoor roller coaster. Like, I don't know. They're just going to reskin it. I think we're going to get a lot of rabbit holes with the packs. And I would want something like the roller coaster tycoon game, but really I think we're just going to get rabbit hole rides and one functional roller coaster because they're not going to give us the ability to build a amusement park as much as we can in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. Like, that is just not going to happen at all. So I really think we're going to get a bunch of rabbit hole rides and it's going to have one functional roller coaster, one. But that one roller coaster is going to have a couple of different quote unquote swatches on them. It's going to feel like you got more. It's going to be a game pack, but if they really want to scam you out of your money, they're going to make a world that's really just a set. You want people to do anything in the world, but because it comes with a world and it'll be a beautiful world, they're going to upsell it to you as an expansion pack for $40. And of course, this pack could come with the hotel pack. It could be an expansion pack that is hotels and amusement park, but that's not how EA works. Remember, they want to take your money and give you almost nothing in return. So of course they're going to separate out these packs, and that can have pros and cons, right? If they separate it out and they fully flesh out both packs and make it really worth the gameplay content and also give you the bang for your buck, then sure. But that's not going to happen. And yes, I am bitter. If they do release this pack, I don't think it's going to function well because EA history, Sims 4 history speaks for itself here. I'm looking at you, my wedding stories. We have multiple examples that they really don't care if they release a pack to you that's not functional. They'll fix it eventually. How long is eventually? I don't know. How long have we been waiting for Dine Out to be fixed? How long are we waiting for Horse Ranch to be fixed? We'll see. It will sadly be the worst version of an amusement park you have ever seen. I'm talking Journey to Batuu levels of bad, but if we get this, it's likely going to be towards the end of the summer. I really see it being like a September release or sometime in the fall, maybe even October or November. A clown. I have no idea why I think this. I do think that we are going to get cars either in 2024 or announced in 2024. I just thought bikes were the prelude to horses, and I was right. So I think that horses are the preludes to cars, and I've been saying that for a long time. Bikes, horses, to cars. Sadly, we already have debug cars, and I think they're just going to take those and make them functional. I don't imagine they're going to have a very high resolution. I think they're going to be kind of ugly, just to be honest with you, because after all, why would they spend money on designing a bunch of new cars when they can design a couple of new cars, use things they already have in the game, and add some functionality to it? Because then they can put all of their budget to having functional cars. But honestly, I don't know jack shit about game development, so maybe this is just bullshit. I don't know why I didn't end that sentence there. So maybe they will develop new cars. I don't know. This should be a free update, but just like horses and cats and dogs and hamsters and pretty much any animal in the game, even weather should have been free. I don't think cars will be, but I can't see how they would make an entire pack around cars. Even if they threw a world in, even if they added build by items, a car itself is not enough gameplay to constitute an entire pack. But I would have also said a horse itself is not enough gameplay to introduce an entire pack, but they managed to do that. So prepare to see your Sims step into a car and drive off into the loading screen, because The Sims 4 is a closed world. Where are your Sims driving? They're not driving around. The roads are already populated with cars, quote unquote, that drive. There's no way that I can see that they would animate a car so that you could also drive on the road, because the cars that drive are not actually real. This isn't going to make sense. But if you have your Sim cross the road, they will get hit by the train or by the car or by the bus, and it has no impact. It just kind of phases through them because they're debug objects. How would that even work with a functional car? I really have no problem with a Sim stepping into a car and driving off into the loading screen, as long as it is a free update, which again, I don't think is likely. At most, you'll be able to woohoo in the car outside of any other like gameplay functionality. And as a side note, honestly, I don't know why cars are such a popular demand. The Sims 4 is a closed world. Like, where are you going? What do you want cars for? Your Sim's just gonna drive off to the loading screen. You know how when you go to the world and your Sims travel and they just walk off to the spot where they disappear? It's gonna be that. But instead of walking, your Sim's gonna drive there. Anyway, so I again predict that if they're going to release cars, they're gonna do it at the very end of the year. But what I think is more likely is they're gonna confirm that they are working on cars for a 2025 release. Some other things that are coming. Kits. I think that kits are too fucking expensive, but they're not going anywhere. EA obviously makes a lot of money from these kits, and I certainly have some that I really enjoy. But the idea of spending $5 for some really basic content, like I'm talking a handful of content, is absolutely wild. But again, EA wants your cash. I mean, this game costs hundreds of dollars. Is The Sims not the most expensive game on the market? Because if you bought every expansion pack and every game pack and every stuff pack and every kit at full price, I have no doubt in my mind that you are approaching or surpassing the $1,000 mark for the game. And it's only going to get more expensive because, as we have been told, there are no plans to stop the expansion of The Sims 4. To the detriment of the game. Not to be shady, but the more they add things, the more things break. The game is barely functioning at some point, and the EA app sure as hell ain't functioning. So the one benefit, though, of having kits is that it's very easy to keep up with and capitalize on trends. So I think we're getting a jewelry kit. There was speculation that the kit would be about weddings because of a tweet that showed an engagement ring, but no, I don't think so. I think it is a jewelry kit that we're getting, and honestly, we don't have that many accessories in the game, and a lot of the accessories that we do have very much scream the 2010s. I would love to see more jewelry in the game, and this is a kit that I would buy, especially if we have jewelry that's a little bit more modern and on trend to the kind of jewelry people wear now. I don't want it to be big and bulky though. I want it to be slim-lined and streamed. I don't want a repeat of the piercings that we get in game, which are so big they look ridiculous on your Sims. Plus, we haven't gotten an accessories specific kit or a jewelry specific kit yet, so I think that's an area they're going to explore. I really have no idea what else they might release in kits, I'm going to give you some ideas that maybe they'll explore. So I think that they're going to have more build kits because there has been demand for that for builders. We get a lot of stuff for buy mode and we get a lot of cast items. We don't get a lot of build exclusive picks. I can see them releasing a kit that is just windows again because there's demand for this. It'd be a bizarre concept, but we've gotten to the point in The Sims 4 where they really can explore bizarre content, and kits in my mind really are exploring niches, so they're not supposed to have mass appeal. They're appealing to certain kind of players. So I can see a Windows kit for the builders. I can also see a builds basic pack. Think IKEA, which I think could be kind of fun because we have a lot of items in the game that are like a very specific style, but don't fit in every kind of home. And I would love something like this, where it's just very simple furniture. Think IKEA that you could fit into most homes and that I think would work really well. I also think that we might get an athleisure kit. Think like tracksuits and sweatpants. So let me show you. I'm really thinking like things kind of like this, where we have cargo pants, we have sweats, we have 2-piece sets. I can see them release something like that because even though they have a streetwear kit, many of them, this is a style that's fairly popular and it's what I would consider streetwear right now. So I think that they will release a kit that has some amount of streetwear that really is just like very basic tracksuits, sweatsuits. It'd be very funny if they introduce like a Juicy Couture suit. I don't think they will, but I can see that being a kit this year as well. Okay, and this one is mostly a joke, but people are demanding fairies. And just like they gave us unicorns, quote unquote, by putting horn accessories in Horse Ranch, I think they would so make a kit that just had fairy things like wings and fairy outfits. To be clear, I don't think that they're going to release this as just the kit and say, ha ha ha, we gave you fairies, because they would piss off the entire community. I don't personally want fairies, but I think that what they would do is something like they would release a stuff pack or a game pack that had fairies in it, and then later down the road release a pack that has like fairy accessories. I can definitely see that. And here's what I would actually want in the game. As I already established, curved pools. Please let me have curved pools and let them be functional. I would also really like different buy mode aesthetics. So something kind of like this, which I think is being called like the coquette aesthetic, just things that we don't really have that much of in game. I saw Little Simsy mention like a textiles kit, so a kit that had like rugs and curtains that are really versatile, and I think that would be fun and I would really love that. She also mentioned a bed pack, which again is very niche, but I would also agree having more options for beds would be fun because right now your options feel very limited. I also know that we just got a kitchen pack, but my gosh, so many of the kitchens in the game don't have matching upper cabinets. I find myself constantly reusing the Home Chef Hustle one because it's a full and complete set. If we're gonna get more kitchen stuff, please let them have matching pieces. And also, I want matching bathroom sets. Like, why is it so hard for them to match things? Give me a complete set. I also would really love hotels, which we already established. I think we are getting hotels, and I would love hotels. I want functional amusement parks. I don't want rabbit hole rides. I want full functional amusement parks, even if it's in a vacation world. Something like here from Plubbob Kingdom, which is like a custom built. I would love that. I don't think we're getting that, but I would really like it. I also want worlds based on countries that are not the US. They are slowly expanding that, introducing more worlds that exist outside of the US. But The Sims 4 really is young adults simulator, very much based on a lot of the US. So I really want more worlds based on countries that are not in the US. And in terms of updates, I want an update to lots so that they can have more than one function. As they continue to release expansion packs, there really is more of an emphasis for me on how useful it would be to have multifunctional lots. For example, a museum that also has a cafe and a gift shop. So a museum that functions like a museum, but also a cafe, but also a retail store, or a bookstore that's also a cafe. Any combination you can think of. There's so many uses for having lots that serve multiple functions. And because they introduce the ability to split up a lot in for rent, I'm hopeful that there's going to be an ability to have multifunctional lots in the future. Not in 2024, but in the future. And then finally, a movie theater stuff pack. Don't start booing yet, because I know we have the movie stuff pack, but that one is a really early pack and it's kind of shit. It really focuses on home movies and just introduces a new channel, which I don't think is a kind of stuff pack the Sims team would release today. Just like they did the Home Chef Hustle pack, even though we already had Cool Kitchen stuff. Home Chef Hustle is Cool Kitchen, but way, way, way better. So I really want a movie theater stuff pack that's movie stuff, but way, way, way better. I literally want movie stuff, like things to build a movie theater with. And with that, having the gameplay functionality of a movie theater lot type, so that I can build my own movie theaters and have my Sims go on adventures that are not just let's go to the park or let's go to a restaurant or let's go to a retail lot. I want to go to the movies. I know we got the rabbit hole version of a movie theater in Growing Together in San Sequoia, but I want to build my own movie theater. We can do that now with what's in the game, but I want specific items for the movie theaters. Unlock the popcorn machine and let me have a movie theater lot type. So that is it. Those are all of my 2024 predictions for Sims DLC. Let me know if you think I'm right with any of these packs, but also what you would really like to see in The Sims 4. Of course, I want to see them fix the game. I really do. But again, as we've established multiple times in this video, EA wants your money, and so they're going to continue to release DLC regardless of whether or not it is breaking the game. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I look forward to hearing about what you want in The Sims 4. I'm going to see you in my next video where hopefully the EA app will let me play my expensive ass game.